is Poole, County Commissioner, and I'm out and about today at Concord Mills Mall, and I'm happy to welcome my guest, Donna Carpenter, who is the CEO and President for the Cabarrus County Convention and Visitors Bureau, to talk with me some today. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great today. Glad you could meet me out here at the mall. Couple things I wanted to talk about. You've heard me say this before. When I was growing up, we had textiles, and then we had cigarettes, and thankfully during the Great Recession we had tourism. But I don't think a lot of people really know what the Convention and Visitor Bureau does. So can you tell us a little bit about what your organization does?
I would love to tell you about what we do. We are a Convention and Visitors Bureau, but we're also known as a Destination Marketing Association, or an organization. And what that means is essentially we are the sales and marketing arm for the county. We're a 501c organization, nonprofit, but we are funded by bed tax or occupancy tax. It's called different things in different places, but that's the 6% that a visitor pays when they spend the night in a hotel room. It is a county levied tax, as you're very well aware of, and the county collects that tax and legislatively turns that money back over to us to do sales and marketing to bring more visitors into the community. So local visitors or local residents don't pay that tax, and that's sometimes a confusion that a lot of local people think that it's their tax dollars that fund our organization, when it's not. It's the visitor tax dollar.
Right. And those are levied because of the hotels that we have in the area, right?
Yes, the hotels actually agreed to tax themselves in order to create money for an organization to be able to levy that money to turn it into more dollars. So for every dollar that is put into tourism, you get $7 to $10 back in visitor spending.
So you've got this money and you got to do something with it. So can you tell us, what are some of the things that you've been involved with to bring more tourists to Cabarrus County?
Sure. Well, we do the typical things, marketing as far as purchasing ads, our website, those types of things. So that's typical stuff. But we do have a sales department that goes after groups, and amateur sports is huge for us. A couple of the things that we've hosted in the past that your viewers might recognize, we hosted a group called Tough Mudder. We brought 10,000 visitors into the town of Mount Pleasant, and I think it was Whataburger's biggest day ever. So we were very proud of that. We hosted those people for about 3 years, so it was a good run for us. Another thing that we kind of sometimes assist with is the Democratic National Convention was here, and it was in Charlotte actually, but it filled up every one of our hotel rooms on the perimeter. So we call that an assist. So we worked with Visit Charlotte, bringing in and allowing them to give them great hotel rates and things to do. So that was another big thing. I think our proudest moment, though, is when we were the host of the Mustangs' 50th birthday celebration. I know that everyone watching will remember the thousands of Mustangs that were in our community during that time, and it was a great weekend. I never thought I'd ever hear the days that when someone said our East Coast Conference is being hosted in Cabarrus County, North Carolina, and the West Coast Conference is being hosted in Las Vegas. So to have Cabarrus County and Las Vegas in the same neighborhood with each other was very exciting for us. So those are just a few things.
Right.
There's always stuff going on, 24/7 at the Speedway campus. So lots and lots of things going on.
Anything that you're working on now that we can look forward to in the next few years?
Sure. Well, we have TFCon coming in. You want to ask me what's TFCon, or maybe I should ask you. Do you know what TFCon is? TFCon is the largest fan-driven Transformer convention that there is. And Embassy Suites and Convention Center will be host to them coming up this year. So that's fun and exciting. And again, as I said a minute ago, we host a lot of amateur sporting events, a lot of baseball, soccer, cheerleading, all of those types of things.
Well, obviously we're here at the food court at Concord Mills, and having grown up here, you know, there are certain times of the year, in all honesty, that I have to think about what are the back roads and how am I going to get out to the mall, because there's so much traffic on this boulevard. Whether it's because of a race event or because it's, you know, back to school shopping here, whatever it is, and traffic backs up, and it backs up on the interstate. So I know there's been talk about making some changes here. Can you tell us a little bit about what that, I've heard it called a flyover bridge. So what are some changes that we're going to see on exit 49?
Sure. This is very exciting for us and kind of non-traditional for a Convention and Visitors Bureau to kind of take the lead on something like this. But this is where the destination management part of who we are kind of comes out. And, you know, kudos to our board of directors. They took this project on, and we sent out a survey. We have a 2020 vision plan, and we sent out a survey to business leaders across the county. So it wasn't just tourism and hospitality related information that we were trying to gather. And what came back is what would the biggest issue in Cabarrus County is, and that was traffic on the boulevards. And so the CVB Board of Directors agreed to take some of our money, and we hired a company to come in and do a feasibility study. And what came out of that was what was causing the traffic. Now, as wonderful as this great place is that we're sitting in is, it is the culprit to the traffic that we have, and it's that very first entrance into the mall that backs everything up. So with the feasibility study, what it recommended was that we create a flyover. And what that is it's a 2-lane, for a lack of a better word, a bridge that will start on the boulevard and go up and fly over the left-hand lanes and dump directly into the mall. Now, Simon Properties is working with the city of Concord in reconfiguring the parking lot so that it can handle continuous traffic. So they're going to be working on that. This community came together. The city took over the project. The governor is on board. He's excited about it. So we're still crossing our fingers. I think this is going to happen. I don't have exact dates, but it's very promising. Also in that 2020 vision plan, where pedestrian safety is a huge issue for us. Leisure traffic makes up 1/3 of our visitors that come here in Cabarrus County. And so making sure that they're safe on the boulevard is where all of the hotels, majority, I don't say all of them, but the majority of the hotels are here. And we watch people, families, literally cross over the boulevard trying to get to the other side, and it's just not safe. So with that said, once we alleviate some of the traffic, we are going to be putting in sidewalks that will go from around Weddington Boulevard all the way down to the Speedway. So that's going to be awesome for our travelers that come to visit us to be able to get around safely. And it also provides an opportunity to make the cash registers ring, because that's what we're here to do. That's what we want to see, is make those cash registers ring for us here in Cabarrus. And it allows the visitor to be able to get to those restaurants and the gas station and the shopping center and those types of things.
And the last project I want to ask you about, because I know this is another one that the board's working on, is the wayfinding project. I've lived here my whole life. I know how to get around, but if I was a visitor here, I might not be able to find everything. So give us an idea of what that wayfinding project's going to be.
Sure,
like.
I'd love to. My mother always told me, before you invite someone to your house, you better have your house in order, and it better be clean. So with that concept, that's kind of the analogy I like to use about why we're spending money in market for something like this. We need to get our house in order. We need to get Cabarrus County in order for the visitor to be able to get out and about. Many times you will ask someone, did you go to Concord? And their answer is, yeah, I did. And what they meant is they were at exit 49. They didn't know how to get to downtown Concord and
downtown Kannapolis.
Exactly. We have this awesome historic little town, and they don't know how to get there. Kannapolis, up and coming, the research campus, the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, and the Gym Theater, all of those wonderful assets that are sitting there. So our board decided in the 2020 vision plan, how do we connect all of these communities? And we're not leaving out the other communities and municipalities either. They'll be introduced in this wayfinding program, but how do we connect the triangle that is Cabarrus County? And how do we move people from exit 49, if they're having a cheerleading competition out at the arena, how do they get out there? Creating a sense of place and cohesion gives people consumer confidence. And so you're riding down the road and you see the same sign with the same graphics on it, and you go, okay, I know I'm not lost, I'm going in the right direction. So creating a sense of place and delivering a brand and a brand promise to our visitor is very important to us, and our board has taken the step to do that. So we're right in the middle of it. We'll have some visuals to be able to show everyone coming soon.
Well, I really appreciate you coming out and meeting me today. Is there anything else you want our viewers to know about the CVB? And
well, actually, I think it's important to say that tourism is very important to this community. I know at times it seems that it might be a hindrance instead of a help. Tourism actually saves each household $424 a year. If it weren't for tourism, every household would pay that much more money in taxes. We create almost 4,000 jobs in this community is directly attributed to tourism. We have many other facts that we can talk about that's attributable to tourism. So I would recommend, we have a business site. It's not our leisure site. Our leisure site is visitcabarrus.com. So if you want to know what to do, you can either pick up one of these or go online and look at it. But we also have a business site that tells everything about the Bureau. And because we're funded by tax dollars, we like to be very transparent. And it is www.cabcocvb.com. So CABCOCVB.com. And on there you can see our state statistics as well as research and everything that we do as an organization. So I encourage you to go on there and look at it. And if you have questions after that, you can give us a call.
And I love your websites, as you know that. I've used them oftentimes in classrooms. Tourism has saved Cabarrus County during this recession. Without it, we really would have been in a bad strait. And I'm not certain that everybody realizes that. And a lot of people were impacted by the recession. So, but that helped lessen it. It helped make us, and our recovery, I think, is much greater. So, it's a great place to be. I love Cabarrus County, obviously, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that the CVB is here, and I'm glad that they're making sure other people know that even though we have a name you can't pronounce, it's a good place to come visit.
That's exactly right. And also, just to end on a good note to end, we are bookended by two of the largest tourist attractions in the state of North Carolina. We're the busiest exit in the state of North Carolina, and we generate sales tax for the state of North Carolina in this community. So super proud to be here. Thank you so much for asking me.
Well, I appreciate you being with us today, and thank you all very much. I hope that you've learned a lot about the Cabarrus County Convention and Visitors Bureau. I hope you come visit Concord Mills and all the other tourist attractions that we have in Cabarrus County.